The following video took place in an old and abandoned secondary school, which was shut down by the government for a very disturbing reason. Before this reason came about, it was a prospering school with over 2,000 students attending every single day. It had no problems and was rated very highly across all education monitoring companies, until one horrible day arrived. A member of staff, rumored to be one of the caretakers, found an unalive student in one of the bathrooms before the school day, and this caused a massive shockwave of events, including a huge investigation. This investigation lasted several months, and none of the students were able to attend their school for this period. One day, though, the problem was resolved, and the school was shut down for good. Due to the property being of poor standard, no one was interested in purchasing the site, so it was kind of just left to rot. It was said to be haunted by the child who suffered their end within its premises, and the man who filmed the upcoming clip put that to the test by visiting the abandoned site. Take a look.
Watch it.
As the man behind the camera expected, the theory of the building being haunted turned out to be factual, and after seeing the swings move by themselves, he dashed out of the premises. After the event, he posted the video to the local area's Facebook page, to which he received a bad reputation, as people believed he had faked it for some cheap attention. All I'm going to say is that it looked extremely real to me. Everybody in town knew that Dave was one of the hardest workers around. For the past 2 years, he had barely left his basement as he was working on an all-new business idea, and it was finally starting to pay off for him. He was beginning to earn money that he would have if he had followed the employee route, which was his goal after all. Anyway, this is besides the point. He was in his basement at 11 p.m. finishing up some mock-ups when all of a sudden he heard some noises as if something was in there with him, and instinctively he decided to go and check what caused it. For a few moments he did not find anything but thought it would be smart to try and verbally communicate rather than search. This is how that plan went.
There's definitely something here. Let me try something real quick. Is there anyone here? What the f? Did the teddy bear just fucking move? What the fuck was that? It's a fucking orb. It just got really fucking... What the f... Was that you that moved that teddy bear? Can you move it again?
Somehow, the spirit moved the teddy bear and also casted orbs around the room, with a few moving towards Dave. Dave became very spooked because of this and retreated into the brighter side of the room before wrapping up his work. He did not want to experience anything like that ever again. Jake and Faye are a father and daughter combination who had not been having the best times of their lives recently. We have actually showcased some of their clips in recent videos on the channel, but in short, their house was haunted and some deeply unsettling things were occurring. The primary incident was that they could both hear footsteps walking around the house, despite them both being sat down together, which frightened Faye a lot. Little did they know that this was not going to be the only time they would encounter an event like this.
There we go. And again. Hello? I'm sorry. Is there anything you need? They're real loud today. Hello? Do you need help? What the What the Hello? Hello? Was that you that rolled the ball? Can you play it again? Can you play it again? Can you play it a low key? Oh, See, this is where I draw the line, man, and y'all want me to be brave. Hello? Hello?
Just like last time, the sound of footsteps kicked off the clip, but this one became much creepier, much faster, from objects moving in Faye's room to literal whispers of help from the spirit. This was the tip of the iceberg for Jake, and he decided that he was going to sell the property once and for all. We have no clue how this ended up going, but what we do know is that the duo have not posted any paranormal clips since, leading me to believe that they are okay. On May the 27th of 2023, Russian ghost hunter Enzo decided that it would be a good idea to visit the house known as the scariest house in the world. The house gained this reputation due to several families suffering their fatalities in there, and it was rumored that their spirits made sure nobody else suffered the same fate as they did. They would supposedly aim to frighten visitors to ensure that they did not follow through with the house purchase. So it is nice to know that the spirits in the video you are about to see had a great purpose for their acts. Take a look. The glass fell from the tabletop in the most unnatural way possible, and it was clear that no strings were attached to it. What made this clip ever more odd was that the glass survived the fall and did not smash, which should have been almost impossible with such momentum. It was pretty obvious that this falling was caused by a spirit, and Enzo was pleased that he obtained some more evidence for his clients. This ghost hunting mission turned out to be a success for both parties, especially for his bank account though. Now, the following video was supposed to be a fairly innocent one, but did not turn out in that manner. It was recorded in young Raj's living room, and he was unboxing a cool antique that he purchased and believed would be cool enough for some content. He was far from wrong, and the audience really enjoyed this box opening, but not for the reasons that Raj expected them to. In fact, not even a crystal ball operator could have told him what was about to happen, which shows just how much of a surprise it truly was.
Okay. I'm gonna be frank, it's pretty spooky as it's in itself, but this note just kind of made it like 10 times spookier, so I don't know, maybe kind of decipher the note for me, or let me know what you guys think about the note. I mean, would you guys have this sort of thing inside your house? I definitely would. I think it's pretty cool. Heck, I'm gonna probably start collecting all these antiques now because of it. I think that's pretty cool. I guess I forgot to kind of mention a little backstory or what's going on. Like, the old man ended up dying. I'm not sure how, but I'll probably try to grab that information from Dylan. So at some point. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for whatever video I'm making. Alright, see ya. Oh my god, I hate these things. Oh, damn. Oh, that one really hurt.
Throughout the recording, the door in the background continued to open and close completely, going under the radar of Raj. I must say that even I failed to notice what was going on until looking at the comments, which is a rare occurrence for me. Regardless of whether Raj picked up on this event or not though, it would not take long for him to open his YouTube studio and discover the situation he found himself in. Little did he know that this was the first event of many. For the following weeks, Raj continued to experience hauntings in his room, and every single one happened behind that same door. The main issue was that it would open and close without any human interaction, which he failed to make any sense of. But when he discussed this with his roommates, they called him a liar. This sparked his idea to prove them wrong. One evening, he decided that he was going to sit down and continue to record the door until something happened, so that he could prove to them that it was happening. As well as this, he vowed to get up and search the room behind the door immediately to prove that the event was not fake. Have a watch.
I barely had a lot of sleep. A lot of shit's been going on, all the scratching, all the fucking everything. So I'm recording right now just to hopefully catch something, and if I do, I just want to prove to you guys that I'm actually alone. My roommates are all upstairs, so as soon as something's happening, like I'm just watching the friggin' door. As soon as something's happening, I'm booking it right inside there. I'm gonna film all the space, all like everything. We're gonna close the door right behind me, and I'm gonna make sure that I want to show you guys that I'm actually alone in this. Oh shit! Yo, the lights like turning on and off, bro. The doorknob. Yo, fuck! I gotta show you guys I'm actually alone. Look at this bullshit. Look at this bullshit. Look. Turning on the light. As soon as I walk in. Okay. Closing the door. Yo. Yo, I'm telling you, anytime I walk in, there's like literally nobody. Nobody. This has been going on for like a couple days now, dude. Look, watch. I'll turn on the light. Okay? Nobody. Behind the door, nobody. Okay? Going through this freaking door, which is really scary in here. Nobody. Guys, tell me what the fuck is going on, because I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm actually terrified right now.
Unlike the usual situations, the door was not opening alone and was rather rattling the door handle and flickering the lights. As promised, Raj stood up as quickly as he possibly could and searched not just one room, but every room on that side of the apartment to cancel all rumors that he faked his last clip. But he was not done, because he had no idea that him and this spirit would have one last dance. Roughly 2 days after that last incident, Raj was back in college, and he had a fantastic day. He only had to attend one lecture due to his other lecturer being sick, so he got home very early. But after arriving, I bet he wished he didn't beat his roommate there.
Oh, I just got home from work. Yeah, this is what I came home to. I'm literally only going to assume that my roommates is trying to pull a prank on me. I'm gonna quickly close this, push all this, close this door behind me, just in case anything happens. What the fuck, dude? You serious? They're trying to pull a prank. This is one hell of a prank. Oh, hell nah. Hell to the no. What the fuck, dude? Everything. Oh my god. I'm out of here. Yep, I am done. With this shit.
At first, he called rubbish and assumed that his roommate had done a silly prank on him. Not only was his roommate not the type of guy to do this, but it would have been extremely cruel due to what they had been through together. So even at this point, Raj wasn't really convinced. Regardless of how sure he was of this though, all hopes were erased when the taps started turning themselves on around the property. This triggered the moment that Raj and his roommate Stanley requested a college dorm and were granted permission to move in. In the most recent video on this channel, we looked into the house of Jackson, who was a huge believer in religion and the spiritual world, also taking evil entities into consideration. In that video, he heard knocking sounds from his basement and, being a believer, instantly thought of spirits and demons. However, his audience were not so easily convinced. He received a ton of hate on that video, with people referring to him as a liar and a fraud. But it was only a matter of time before he fought back with another sighting, this time with undeniable proof of its legitimacy.
Alright, you guys are in luck. You wanted it, right? There it is. Ain't me knocking on shit. Ain't nobody down here, right? You fucking hear it. Now, you guys are gonna say, oh, it's somebody in here, it's an animal. Nope. Let's go. So who's down here? Nobody. What the fuck? Nobody down here? Nobody downstairs? I don't want to hear none of that bullshit about, oh, it's somebody. Ain't fucking nobody. We hear that shit every single night.
Unlike the last time around, this time he decided to search the entire basement to provide undeniable evidence that nothing was on the other side, and it worked. His audience apologized for their ignorance and wished him luck in banishing the ghost, with this being the most recent information we have obtained. Make sure to subscribe so you can receive updates if I get them. On January the 17th of 2008, Kaiden, a young adult at the time, had recently started renting a new house for him, his girlfriend and their 3 pets. The house had no unusual backstory or anything that would really deter a family from moving in. However, reputations can easily come to an end. It was night 4 in the house at around 6 p.m. when the most peculiar evening of Kaiden's life would occur, and things got terrifying. Very terrifying.
Phoebe. Hey. Phoebe. Where are you, girl? Phoebe. Phoebe. Hey, what's the matter, girl? Come here. What's the matter? Are you okay? Come here. Come on up. Phoebe, come on. Hey. What's the matter? Hey, come here. Come on. It's okay. What's the matter, girl? Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on up. Want a treat? Come on. Come here, peeps. Want a treat? Phoebe, what's the matter, girl? What's the matter? You okay? What do you hear? What is it? What is it, girl? Come here. Phoebe, come here. You okay, girl? What's the matter? What's the matter, honey? Do you hear something? Phoebe? Honey? Are you okay? What is that?
After hearing banging noises from up in the attic, Kaiden decided that he had to go and check what was up there in case of an intrusion. Since the pets were acting strange, it was likely that they could smell or hear someone that he couldn't, and so Kaiden wisely took the signs.
What? What the hell? There's definitely something up here. What? The hell? Jesus Christ.
Strangely, once Kaiden entered the attic, it was completely trashed, and he was devastated as a mess that big would not be easy to clean up. However, at the time, he was pleased that he found nothing up there, but still suspicious. It was when items started moving in front of his very own eyes that things started to become extraordinarily freaky. It's important to note that the light switch for the attic is inside it, so when they turned off, it was impossible for Kaiden to have done so. Something was up there, but he'll never know what. In the following video, a single man called Toby was getting ready to go to sleep when he supposedly noticed something looking at him through the window. Accompanying this sighting was the sound of a lady crying, which disturbed Toby for obvious reasons, and it definitely showed with his reaction.
Okay, look, I'm really tripping out now. Something was looking at me through the window, and I heard that lady crying again. Coming out of the kitchen. I'm freaking the fuck out. basement door. Fuck that. Fuck that. There's something in this house with me. There's something in here. I'm telling you. Oh, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no.
Now, in usual paranormal situations, the ghost would do something harmless but spooky, like move a chair to the side. However, in this crazy scenario, a knife was thrown at Toby, which could have caused some serious damage had it connected. Ghost experts theorize that the spirit wasn't trying to harm Toby, but just scare him. This explains why it delayed until he stepped back from the kitchen to launch such a dangerous item. Regardless, this is one of the most dangerous ghost sightings witnessed, and I doubt anyone would want to switch situations with this man, especially considering that this was only the beginning. After a long night struggling to sleep after the knife situation, Toby considered attempting communication with the ghost and eventually came to the conclusion that he would. He took out his TikTok camera and went downstairs to the living room, and then the moment of truth happened.
Monday, I think it's like the 5th or something. And about 6:30 in the morning. A little handle over there off my grinder come across the floor. It's my little pipe, my little billy club I keep around. It come rolling across the floor this morning. Been pretty quiet lately. I thought I heard voices earlier, but I wasn't sure. It's been pretty quiet for real till now, until a few minutes ago. And we'll see, I guess. Are you here this morning? What do you want? Can you talk to me? Let me know you're here. Okay, so you are here. What do you want? I'm not scared of you. Show yourself. Show yourself to me. I want to see who you are. No, I want to see who you are. Leave me alone. If you can't show me who you are, I want you to leave my house. Show me your face. Show me your face or leave my house. I demand it. No, go. Show me who you are or leave my house. I'm not afraid of you. What do you need? What do you want? Why do you keep bothering me? Are you still here? Hello? I'm not here to harm you, and I do not want you to harm me. Just tell me what you want. Who are you? Do you want me to leave this house? Is this your house? Do you want me to leave? Do you want me out of your house? No, because this is my house. I want you out of my house. If you can't show yourself, I want you to leave.
At first, the ghost cooperated with Toby and continuously moved a metal pole across the room to let him know it was listening. However, after some time, it clearly got bored and stopped entertaining his curiosity. The only sign of the spirit still being present in the later section of the video was when a small shadow appeared in the corner of the room. It's highly possible that something else cast this, but in the event that it was the ghost showing itself, Toby was in for a long day. Towards the end of the video, he claimed that he would upload more content of the sort and try to keep his followers updated on the experience. To our dismay though, he never updated anyone again, and no one knows why. Now, the next paranormal occurrence showcased on this video is actually the follow-up to a video that we've already covered on the channel. In that video, I explained how he searched 20 minutes for the cause of the knocking at his door, and this is the footage of him doing so.
Oh my god.
Weirdly, he found nothing lying around in the forest, despite the knocking being really loud and in a linear pattern. No animal is capable of doing this, so it's very odd that no person was discovered. As well as this, once the man arrived back at the house, his bedroom light was on all of a sudden, and a shadowed figure was standing behind the blinds. Quickly, he ran inside to confirm that there was an intruder, but to his dismay, nothing. This is when Sam really started to become convinced that a ghost was on his property. However, he was an evidence kind of guy, and without any, he couldn't be too sure. With time came his wish, though. A few days after the prior incident, Sam was watching television with his cat when the power completely cut out. He lived in a relatively rural area, and this kind of stuff was normal, so nothing was out of the ordinary though, until he realized the rest of his area still had their lights on. With this knowledge, he needed to investigate the power box, and things got creepy fast.
I just lost power in my house. I looked down the road and I saw lights on, so I think it's just me. I'm gonna go down to the breaker box and see what's up. Hey, you stay here, I'm gonna go get the power back on, okay? Everything looks okay. I guess I'm gonna have to call the power company. These were closed. These were 100% closed. I never leave these open. If there's someone or something here, I want you to prove it to me. I want you to close one of these doors. Come on! Well, if I'm being honest, I'm glad nothing happened. Holy shit!
Once Sam decided to go upstairs and phone up the power company, loud banging noises started happening downstairs, and he assumed it was the cat. He quickly ran down the stairs to the source of the noises to find both the washing machine and the dishwasher flung open. This had no explanation. It was a ghost, and he knew it. Immediately, he beckoned the spirit to do it again and got excited too soon when it didn't at first. However, milliseconds after his victory call, the machine's door closed on its own accord. The following family had only been living in their house for 8 months and had never experienced anything supernatural in their life. They were all religious and had God on their side, which left them strong in the sense of not getting haunted. Despite this power though, on a random Tuesday, things got quite weird.
Dude, you hear that, right? Yeah. Alright guys, I have to start recording. We just moved in here last summer, and we keep hearing these things. Oh. Dude, you hear that, right? Yeah. Don't tell me it's just me. That's ridiculous, man. I don't know.
During a match of Street Fighter against his girlfriend Kayla, he started to hear aggressive banging noises coming from the kitchen and got fed up so went to check. Once he arrived into the kitchen, he scanned the room and found nothing before checking the garden, but this is when the paranormal activity was confirmed. Suddenly, another bang rang around the house, and with a fast reaction, the cameraman turned back into the kitchen to find 2 cabinets open. It's clearly caught on camera as he walks towards the garden that the cabinets were closed beforehand, which leaves little explanation as to why this happened. Feel free to try and solve it in the comments. Unless you put a ghost though, you're incorrect, because this wasn't the only clip that the man captured in the house. Just a few hours after halting the previous recording, the strange noises returned, and after some investigating, an apparition was caught.
Alright, I have to start recording again. I know I just heard something. You guys are seeing this, right? You gotta be joking me. What? You gotta be joking me. Oh, jeez.
Living in the house with the cameraman were 4 other people, so it was possible that the person behind the door was one of the children. However, it's extremely unlikely that the kid was fast enough to get away from the door as quickly as the apparition did, leaving no other explanations barring the supernatural. On October 16th of 2023, a father of 1 daughter heard crying from her room, so he decided to go and check on her. After searching the room, he found that there was nothing to be scared of and told his daughter it was probably a fly before going to bed. When he woke up the next morning though, he decided to check the cameras just to be safe in case something truly did happen. And beyond his craziest beliefs, something did. The lights in the girl's closet started flashing rapidly to the point that they managed to wake her up. We can see her climb from the bed to go and investigate the room, but the footage cuts before anything happens. The father claims that nothing happened from that point onwards, at least during that specific night. Over the next few weeks, he would closely monitor the cameras of the girls' rooms and relocate them every time something suspicious was caught. The following clip shows one of those instances. If listened to closely, a small knock could be heard, and after contacting experts, the family discovered that it came from underneath the girl's bed. It was at this moment that the family considered this spirit a threat, and eventually they would leave for good. It's unknown whether or not this move was successful. In the following video, a young woman called Leona was cleaning her daughter's bedroom when something unexplainable happened out of nowhere. She was really angry at her daughter for not cleaning the room, but decided to give some leniency and do it for her. I bet she was very happy that she chose this decision because she had one of the most positive ghost experiences documented on this channel. Take a look.
Got you all in a tizzy? What happened, sir? Can you do it again? Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, we're reversing too. Wow. You made sure to go past the cat in reverse. Dang. Hey. Oh, we're still going? If I put it there. You don't like that, huh? Because the cat's in your way? Ugh. Uh-huh. Oh, you go push it out of the way? Are you gonna push it out of the way? Go ahead. Go ahead, push it. You push it out of the way? Oh my God! You freaking did that shit! Oh my God! That was crazy, bro! Oh my God! Again? Are you gonna push the kitty cat out of the way? You need it. Are you gonna push it out of the way again? Oh, you're moving the cat out of the way by moving the cat? Oh my God, you're so smart. Which one are you gonna move? Are you gonna push it out of the way again with the car? Or are you gonna move the cat? Oh my God, look at you. You moved it back. Oh my God. You're so smart. Are you gonna move it? Are you gonna push it out of the way? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna move the cat out of the way by moving the whole cat, or are you gonna push it out of the way? You might have to. Oh my God, you smart person, you.
Strangely, both of the objects started moving by themselves, and none of them are battery-powered in any way. The sole purpose of the Hello Kitty object was to decorate, and the skateboard one was to play, so it made no sense as to why they had a life of their own. Regardless, Leona rather enjoyed the experience, and wasn't fazed in the slightest. A middle-aged man was getting creeped out from the room he was in when moments later something terrifying happened as a climax to this fear. It was 4 a.m. on a Tuesday night in Minneapolis, and the room he was staying in was the last place you'd expect something paranormal to occur in. Despite having the structure of the back rooms, nothing had ever been reported there, and Josiah was hoping that the same would be reality for him. He was wrong.
I'm about to go lay back down, and I'm gonna hope to God that nothing fucking does any weird shit, because I feel like there's weird shit right there. But at the same time, it could be friendly. Oh God, now look at me. I'm starting to sound like a fucking weirdo. Okay. Do you see that? What?
A weird object flew off the door, and Josiah was left startled by this unexpected event. It flew so quickly out of nowhere and acted as a climax to the night of spine-tingling he had already been feeling. He always knew there was something wrong with the place, and now he had enough evidence to leave with a refund. On July 7th of 2023, Mia was trying to get some rest after a long day of work. She had struggled all day with an overly demanding schedule and a boss who wouldn't cut her any slack if she made mistakes. She was in the process of leaving the job, but that turned out to take longer than expected. As if all of that wasn't enough, she gave birth to a son of whom she loved to infinity and beyond. She had him for 7 months and was so excited to see him grow up. However, due to private circumstances, he passed away. Could the upcoming clip be a knock-on effect of this? Let me know in the comments.
Watch the movie in here. And yes, my fan is on. That's why you see it blowing. But what the hell is that? Why is it wrinkling like that? Like somebody's pushing it. And that looked like a face.
Tomorrow we need to...
Now, the fact that the curtain was moving was extremely normal, considering the fan was aiming right at it. However, the pushing against it from the other side was not something you'd expect to see, and fortunately, Mia picked up on it. She got up and approached the curtain, attempting to reveal who was behind it. To her dismay, she found no one. Restaurants are places that you'd expect to see bustling with life, from the stressed out staff to the romantic dates, all the way to a family creating all the noise. These places are usually full of people. However, when it gets late at night and way past dinner time, the restaurants stop getting customers and typically shut down for the night. Someone is always selected to close the restaurant, and this is a pretty standard job. Lock a few doors, flick some switches, and call it a night. The man who was assigned the role in this video definitely wished that this was the case for him. For some peculiar reason, once the man set up the mandatory camera and left the room, the chairs started to move on their own accord. This was very creepy for him, considering he was the only person in the building, but he was brave and went back to fix the positioning of the chairs. Once he finished that, he left the room again, hoping that whatever happened wouldn't repeat. Perhaps he hoped for more than he could get. Just like the last segment, the chairs magically moved themselves due to poltergeist activity and left the innocent employee terrified. This clip was the only aspect we saw, so no more information can be given. Scuba diving is a worldwide activity feared by most and enjoyed by the minority. It involves going into the sea with safety equipment and looking at the beautiful things that it has to offer alongside the predators that roam there. And if a human got into a fight with one of them, it is safe to say that the creature would have a competitive advantage. In the video you're about to see, a young woman was ticking off her bucket list by diving in a shallow part of the sea. She was quite terrified of the potential threats down there, including sharks and jellyfish, but little did she know that they would be the utmost least of her concerns. Weirdly, the sound of a human screaming could be heard whilst she was in a cave, and this was completely unexplainable by logic. Since humans can't breathe underwater, it made no sense that one could open their mouth and scream. As well as this, since water is so dense, it definitely wouldn't have been that loud, leaving this scenario very open for interpretation in the comment section. After coming back to the surface, the lady asked her mother if she had heard the screams, and she replied, no, meaning that whatever it was must have been making the noise underwater. Fortunately, the woman was brave and decided to take a second dive, with much less promising results. This time, not a single sound could be heard barring the noises of distant whales, etc. No one can give a definite answer for this clip to this day. The following piece of footage was captured in an unshared location and is one of the eeriest videos documented on this channel. Watching it for the first time gave me goosebumps, and I'm sure it will do the same to you. It was filmed as part of a haunted exploration video for a channel on YouTube, and the clip I'm going to show you now was the most disturbing thing that they captured on their adventure into the unknown. Have a look.
What the was that? We'll check what that is, because something out there. What was that? Hello? Fuck, this place is weird, man. It's a really loud noise, but... That's creepy, mate, like that. Guys.
At first glance, it was actually quite difficult to decipher what happened here, but after scanning the comments, I noticed something very off. At the timestamp of 23 minutes and 15 seconds, a dark shadow figure could be seen in the doorway, and somehow the YouTuber didn't notice it was there until editing everything together. I guess you could say he was lucky, because if he did see it, you'd bet he would have turned around and ran away. The voice of someone's loved one is supposed to bring comfort and warmth to them. This is why people find love in the first place. In certain scenarios, though, the last thing you want to hear is your boyfriend/girlfriend, though, and the video that is next up portrays this weird feeling. It was recorded when the time was approaching the evening and Michaela was preparing dinner for her boyfriend's arrival. Unfortunately, he arrived home way before schedule, and she thought he would have to wait. At least she thought he arrived.
Making some chorizo for the hubby. Gotta make some extra this morning. Said he's gonna bring over his friend. Babe, are you home? What the heck? The door's still locked. The door's not even open. Okay, anyways, I don't know what that was. I'm hearing things going crazy. Almost done chopping up these potatoes. Somebody playing a prank on me? Did you hear that? Babe, are you home?
Michaela could hear the voice of her boyfriend and a series of footsteps, which was weird, considering the doors were still locked. As well as this, she decided to call his cell phone to see if that resulted in a response, and it did, but not the ideal one. He told her he was still at work and would be setting off back home in 20 minutes. It wasn't him in the house. The next day, Michaela decided to try and put the event behind her and act like nothing happened. She thought that surely it was a one-time thing and nothing like this would slap her again. She was wrong. At the same time as the day prior, she was making dinner again when the spirit made a second appearance in the house.
I always have mashed potatoes for days. I always make way too many. As I'm saying that, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't make as many.
Somehow, the cabinet door launched open without anyone else in there, confirming the presence of a paranormal entity. Was this Michaela going crazy, or was she genuinely suffering a haunting? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Security cameras are useful for various different reasons, and in the following video, the woman involved must have been very pleased that she decided to install them. It was a normal Sunday morning, and she was pouring out some Cheerios like she did every day of the week when this habit was interrupted by the voice of a supposed loved one.
Jackie? Hi. Okay, I'm gonna go back.
As you could clearly hear, once the woman stood up to face the direction of the noise, she addressed it as Jackie, showing that she thought the voice was of someone she knew. If this was the case, then the encounter must have been with a mimic, which can be very dangerous in their own right. Arash was a young boy who was occasionally given the freedom to be home alone. Most of the time, his parents didn't trust him with such a big responsibility and asked his grandma to come and babysit. But fortunately for him, he was given a chance, which he was every other week. You'd think his parents would have learned. Regardless, he was by himself one day when he heard the sound of one of his toys playing from the other room. Cautious, he decided to approach the scene, and this is what he came across.
Aku cakap last ni. Diamlah. Diamlah! Ingat aku takut. Kau nak ke kena buang tong sampah? Masuk dekat tong sampah, nak?
When he entered the room, his toy was on the floor doing its thing. However, nothing too wrong occurred, and Arash just assumed it was glitching. This would all change moments later though, when all sorts of objects started going wild for no reason whatsoever. Arash sprinted out of the room and closed the door between him and it behind him until his parents finally arrived home. They think he staged the video, but when you think deeper, why would he have done such a thing? He wanted to be left home alone, and all this did was force his parents against that decision. It was certainly the act of a spirit. It was a Tuesday night when DeMarcus was woken up by the alarming sound of the shower running. Annoyed, he quickly dressed into decent clothing whilst trying hard not to wake his wife up before going towards the bathroom. If it was one of his children, he was ready to ground them. He made it clear that their bedtime was 11 p.m., not 2 a.m. He gently tapped the door and asked who was inside, but received no response in return. He had to enter, except it was not what he expected standing behind the shower curtains.
Mire, mire. Mire, mire. Mire, mire, eso ahí, moseta. Es cosa mía. Mire, 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 mire. ¿Qué cojones? En el nombre de Jesús te reprendo. Me cubro con la sangre de Cristo. Mire, 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 mire.
Shockingly, nobody was in the shower, and it wasn't even turned on. This made so sense because the windows were clearly condensated, meaning that someone must have used it. But where were they? As well as this, the chain on the shower of which the water was meant to travel through started to move mysteriously, and this inflicted some serious confusion to DeMarcus. He wasn't done searching though. He ventured the entire house making sure that his family was safe, when suddenly he started to hear a repetitive knocking sound coming from a certain window. He went to check it out.
Si aquí no pueden llegar. Miren esto. Está alto. ¿Qué mierda? ¿Qué es eso, tío? ¿Qué coño es eso? ¿Qué coño es eso?
At first, DeMarcus was completely baffled as to why all of this stuff was happening until he saw a figure through the window. This figure had clearly been causing the disturbances, and so DeMarcus was eager to find out what it was. He put on his socks and shoes and went outside, but to his dismay, there was nothing there. This Russian man set up alternating cameras in both the kitchen and the living room because he was convinced that his house was full to the brim with unholy spirits. He was so convinced that he actually visited his local church seeking for a priest who could perhaps help him with the situation. Unfortunately, there was not. You see, in order to have a priest come to bless your home of paranormal spirits, you must show concrete evidence that the place is haunted. Without this evidence, there is nothing they can do to help you out. The man in the following video was on a mission to obtain proof, and proof he obtained. From the singular crock to the books, it seemed that everything in the household was moving, bearing in mind that only 2 cameras were active, meaning that much more could have been happening in the other rooms. To my disappointment though, we must focus on the 2 rooms we have evidence for, and one thing becomes apparent in this next clip. Whatever on earth was haunting this house loved crocks, and I mean loved. Now for those of you wondering why the clip continuously cut, this was because the cameras kept on alternating and nothing was happening where the man was sleeping. Strangely, the crocs traveled from the shoe cupboard all the way to the room next to it in a matter of minutes. It is unknown why a spirit would decide to do something like this to someone, rather than moving stuff in front of them, and it left the poor man confused to say the least. What he did next was questionable though. He submitted the evidence to the priest and also posted it online. The reason for the online posting was far from expected though. He was attempting to sell the crocs to someone online, and their claim to fame was that they were haunted. Abandoned homes are some of the creepiest things ever because they come with a sense of emptiness and false security. Houses are meant to be a safe place for families to stay in, but when they are left untouched, all of this warmth and comfort is stripped away, and perhaps this is why they have such a tendency in becoming haunted. Anyways, that was too far, so let's get into the following clip. It took place at roughly 12:20 p.m. on a Monday night, and the cameraman was on his way home from work. On the way there, he claimed that he passed the abandoned house and nothing was up with it. This made what he was about to encounter ever more weirder. Have a look.
So this house, the first time we passed it, Chase said the bottom part was not blinking. It was on, but it wasn't blinking. See how the different lights are at different intervals? The kitchen light being on, and then in the fire room over there's a light that's going off and on. No one lives here. I think that No one was here. No one was here.
For some weird reason, all of the lights in the house were going crazy, and there is not a time in the world that you could convince me this was an electrical issue. The main reason being that the house was abandoned. Who on earth was paying the electricity bills in the first place? As well as this, each light was moving at a unique frequency, which made things 100 times more disturbing for the driver. It is safe to say that he won't be paying that house another visit anytime soon. This woman does not have any children, please remember that. Now that you know this vital piece of information, we can get onto this clip. It took place in the house of Natasha, a single woman who was getting frustrated with life. She had always wanted a boyfriend and was terrified that she wouldn't be able to experience the lifelong goal of raising a human. This wouldn't be the case after the upcoming clip. 7 p.m., October. For some awful reason, Natasha started to hear the laughter of a little child, and for understandable reasons paused the television and stood up. She was worried that someone had managed to get into the house, and if it really was a kid, then the stress of finding their parents would be very difficult. She turned a corner and saw a little kid peeking around at her, and she cautiously approached in fear that she would frighten the poor soul. To her utter surprise, though, it disappeared in front of her very own eyes before bashing on the door. To this day, she still thinks of this event when hearing laughter, and the trauma is comparable to PTSD. The bad thing is that she can't get tested for it, because if she pulled up to the hospital saying she saw a baby disappear and is traumatized by it, the only thing they'd test her for is schizophrenia. The Midwest Ghost Hunter is a bloke known for his adventurous missions all across the nation with one goal in mind. He wants to prove that the paranormal world is real, defying all the sciences we have been taught. His real name is Derek, and in the video, you're about to see some highlights from he was exploring quoted, freaky haunted places, and little did he know that this would be one of his most active experiences of his career. The first clip took place on an old bridge that was used in ancient times to travel across a river. Unfortunately, the river had dried up over time and was no longer present on scene. Some of the people from that period were, though,
oh, whoa. What the? Whoa, that bridge just moved. I might be going crazy, but I saw that branch over there start swaying back and forth. I know it's windy, but it isn't that windy. Okay, I gotta check this out. It was this one. Right here. That thing was just moving like crazy. I mean, it's one thing if like all of the brush was moving, but it was just that single one, isolated. How do you explain that? I mean, I don't know if like insects crawling on it, maybe? A bird? If you're a spirit and you just moved this tree here, could you move it again? No way! It just moved! I gotta look at this. This thing just moved again on command. And look at this. For all the skeptics out there, there is no fishing line, nothing. Uncut video.
The baby tree waved by itself as if it was in the middle of a hurricane for a solid 2 seconds. The strangest part was that no other bushes or trees around it did the same thing, making it very clear to Derek that a spirit was on the scene. He decided to beckon the spirit for a second showing to prove to the camera that he was truly encountering something unnatural, and it listened. Regardless, this was not close to the most terrifying experience of his night, and things only get more spooky as we go along. This next clip was explained to be his most believable encounter at the time, and even he was considering his life choices. Take a look.
Whoa, I think I got something in that one. I caught another one. Whoa, there's a freaking mist right over here. And it's gone now. It's completely gone. Whoa. Holy moly, it was just right over here. And now it's completely gone. Who's over here? Could you tell me your name? Are you the lady that they talk about? I'm so sorry what happened to you. That's so tragic. Could you tell me how it happened? I got a weird feeling over here. I'm getting like a tingly feeling in my whole body. Whoa! I just heard a woman's voice. I couldn't tell what she said, but it sounded like it came from, like, under the bridge. Hello there. I heard you loud and clear. Are you underneath this bridge? I'm gonna try to get as far down here as I can. Hello?
In the distance, Derek was convinced he saw the mist of a spirit, and after going to investigate, it vanished. Now he initially planned on cutting this section out of the final piece because it wasn't convincing enough to be included. However, it was what happened afterwards that made sure it made the cut. The voice of a woman echoed around him, and he was unable to decipher what it actually attempted to say to him. Fortunately for him though, this was peak content, and aligned with his goal of proving the theory of an afterlife. Whatever that voice was, it most definitely wasn't owned by a human, considering where he was. This was only moments away from being further proved correct.
Doesn't help that my booster light is starting to die. I'm relying on my flashlight. I can hear you clanging around over there. Oh, what the f? Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, I'm freaked out. I'm freaked out. My booster light is dying. I'm on my last set of batteries. I think I had enough of this place. Oh, what the f? Oh my god! Oh, what the f? Oh my god! Oh god. What the f was that? She literally splashed in the water. Yeah, that's it. I'm good.
Inexplicably, the voice of the woman returned, and Derek swore to have seen somebody on the other side of the bridge. This, followed by the fact that a massive splash happened below the structure, finally sent the man into flight mode, and his exploration of this area was deemed as complete. These Japanese girls were in the school bathrooms messing around when something came to tell them off for skipping their class. Surprisingly, it was not a teacher. The time was 1 p.m. and the girls were meant to be studying maths for their exam coming up. However, they brought it upon themselves to go and hide in the girls' bathrooms, considering their tutor was a male. Smart, yet stupid. They were all messing around in there, enjoying their self-inflicted free time, when suddenly, everything started to go downhill. It's called karma. Weirdly, they started to hear a banging sound from one of the stalls, and they let their curiosity get the better of them. They climbed up the adjacent toilet to get a view inside the stall and check what was going on, but for some reason, nobody was inside. The girl jumped into the stall and unlocked it from the inside, to which her friends were very impressed. It was in the last second that the pale face of a spirit was captured though, and all the girls clambered out of the toilets to greet their teacher, who gave them a very pleasing welcome gift: detention. Fishing is an activity practiced for many reasons. Some people do it in the wild for survival, needing the fresh meat that the sea creatures require to survive. On the other hand, people simply do it as a leisure activity, finding fun in catching what they can and then releasing them back in the water to continue their life. In the video you are about to watch, the man was out catching fish for fun when something extremely disturbing happened upon arrival back to his base camp. The area had a toilet block, which was unisex and public to any people passing by. This is why the man was so concerned once he heard what he did coming from inside.
Yo, what the f- What the? Bro. There's nobody in here. Yo!
Strangely, the sound of a human, seemingly a female, screaming echoed around the base camp, and this was very disturbing. Being the brave man the fisher was though, he decided to enter the bathroom in case someone genuinely needed help. This was when he found nobody though. Graveyards are the most likely places in the world for someone to experience paranormal activity, and this is why they are such spooky locations at nighttime. Wandering around these places gives off an eerie feeling, and it is understandable why, considering how many dead people lie underneath you. The following video was captured in a graveyard and showcases one of the rare scenarios where a ghost was caught in the act on camera. Take a look.
Espíritu, alguna entidad, algún demonio de este lugar, quiero que me hagas un ruido y estás aquí conmigo. Solamente queremos ahí te encuentras con nosotros. Te estoy invocando y estás aquí conmigo. Solamente quiero saber que estás aquí conmigo. Ay, ya madre, no mames, no mames. Uy, oh madre, no manches, no manches, no manches, no manches, no manches, no manches. No manches, no manches, no manches. Uy, oh madre. Uy, yo sé que te encuentras aquí. Yo sé que te encuentras en este lugar, queremos verte. Yo sé que te encuentras aquí. Ay, me dio miedo. Solamente queremos saber quién eres, qué es lo que necesitas. ¿Qué es lo que necesitas? Vieron, amigos, vieron.
Weirdly, the door opened on its own accord, and after revealing what was behind it, things got even scarier. Nothing. The fact that there was nothing visible in the area meant that something from the dead side of the world was tampering with the man that night, and it's safe to say he didn't enjoy it. These two women were getting ready to leave the house, but little did they know what was about to happen if they followed through. They had both been invited to their friend's 40th birthday party and had spent the entire morning getting ready for the event. They did their makeup, purchased new dresses, and even went as far as buying a very expensive present. It was undoubtedly going to be an amazing night, at least until they checked the cameras afterwards.
Включи практика разбережки, короче. Выключи. Еще, давай.
Just as they left the room to leave for the party, they got a notification for movement in their room and decided to leave it and look later. Thank the Lord they did. Somehow, an item moved by itself the second they left, and they still haven't found out why to this day. The ashes of loved ones are often kept by families to always remember those who passed away. When someone dies, they have the option to be cremated or buried, and they make this choice prior to death. If they choose to be cremated, then the family has the option to keep hold of the ashes from the burning, and the owner of the upcoming Airbnb did this. He decided to place the ashes on the piano because she always loved to play it at night, but the guests of the Airbnb far from loved it. Confused? Watch the clip.
Okay, I usually do not, or I never have believed in like haunted stuff, okay? But I'm out at Skinny Atlas Lake, the Fingers Lakes in upstate New York. And the Airbnb I'm staying at, the guy did say, just FYI, we do have people say that they hear a piano play at night. And I thought it was bullshit. And I swear to God, I've heard it. It plays. There's nobody fucking in here. I'm going to walk over here. So in case I die, I have a documentation of it, okay? It's an old house. It's on a beautiful lake, though. But I did find out the guy who owns the place, daughter died in a car wreck. And her ashes are on the piano. God, I get chills. But that's the piano. And it plays at night. And it freaks me out. I have chill bumps just being in this room. I do not get a good vibe. But it's scary as shit.
Supposedly, the piano started playing at night, and the story is believable considering how dark the piano was, looming in the shadows. However, some people need to see it to believe it, and the creator of this video posted a second, actually capturing the piano on camera whilst it played. Undeniable proof.
I'm fucking telling you, this place is fucking haunted. Do you heard that?
Yeah, I can't do this shit. It's so scary.
No, you go in there with me.
Yes. You have to go first.
Just stay behind me. Fuck you. It keeps playing, I swear. No, dude, I'm not going up in that bitch. It's this piano, I swear to God it is. No, dude, you got me fucked up. If I die, I swear, I will. Oh, shit! Dude, no.
After the two men argued for a moment over who would go first, they eventually went into the room and nothing happened, but not for long. A singular note was played on the piano, and they were both sent running to the local bar to drink their fear away. It took them 3 hours to return. On November 16th of 2013, Marcus, a young man, was in his apartment with his roommate when one of the weirdest things of his life happened. It was getting late, and he and Johnny, the roommate, decided they would go to sleep so they had enough energy for their early lecture the next day. They brushed their teeth, washed their faces, and followed their regular routines before going to their beds. This is the exact moment that the apartment suddenly filled with cold.
Rato que escuché algo, ¿viste? Uy. Uy. No, voy a prender la luz. Uy, a ver algo en el baño, el vaso. Uy, chamo. Ronnie, parate, chamo. Hey. Ronnie. Ronnie. Uy, la luz. Chamo, parate. Hey, Ronnie. ¡Ay! ¡Ay, chamo! ¡Uy! ¡Chamo! ¡Chamo, parate!
For some unknown reason, the door to the closet moved in Marcus's room, and he didn't know how to react other than beckoning for his roommate's assistance. Moments after ending the recording, Johnny stormed into the room, and all of a sudden the feeling of coldness left the household. Marcus still vividly remembers the event to this day, and always tells it as a story. Children's songs can be the most wholesome things on the planet. They educate kids on all sorts of things and help them develop in general, serving the same purpose as children's stories. However, in some scenarios, these heartwarming tunes can turn into gut-wrenching nightmares and make things extremely demented. You see, at night, when there is nobody around, all these songs do is add to the eerie feeling that a ghost is hovering around the area, and in the following video, this was most definitely the case.
No. 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 No, no, no. No, 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 no puede ser. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. ¿A qué? ¿Me vas a comer? No, no, no. Me vas a comer. Me vas a comer bien la pija, ¿sabes? ¿Mm? Ya paranormal. Yo huevo, ¿eh? Ahí va. Tuki, ¿eh? Ahí va. Ahí va. Ahí está. Perfecto. Ahí está. ¿Mm? Actividad paranormal. La verga. No, chupame.
Disturbingly, the vehicle started playing the popular song Baby Shark, except it wasn't the same as usual. It made the room cold and tormented the victim so much that he was forced to put it outside. This is when things escalated to the next level and the door started knocking. He needed to stop recording and fueling the creature. He explained afterwards that the knocking continued for a good 17 minutes before coming to a halt, and he was given peace for the rest of the night. To his daughter's dismay though, he threw the vehicle into the trash, but made it up to her by purchasing a new one the next week. All he could do was hope that it wouldn't also be haunted. After purchasing the new bike for his daughter, things went fine for a solid week. He became so convinced that the house had no spirits in it that he finally turned off the air purifier, which he believed would help them. Little did he know that this was the worst mistake of his life, because just 3 hours after doing this act, all hell broke loose.
Vaya, vaya. Estuve escuchando unos ruidos que venían de la pieza acá. ¿Qué mierda? Esto siempre tiene que pasar a la noche, hermano. Siempre tiene que pasar a la noche, brother. ¿Vos qué onda? ¿Vas a hablar ahora vos? ¿Vas a hablar? ¿Eh? No vas a hablar, no vas a hablar. No sé la verdad. ¿Qué decir? Mirá, escúchame. Punto número uno. Si vos pensás que me va a asustar
cerrando y abriendo puertita, me podés comer bien los huevos, ¿está? Punto 2. Si te gusta abrir y cerrar puertita, me podés limpiar los platos, barrer un poquito, ¿sí? Y punto 3, me voy a dormir y te vas a dejar de romper la pelota, ¿estamos? ¿Eh? Nah, es increíble, es increíble, es increíble. Bueno, bienvenidos a mi sitcom.
Out of nowhere, he couldn't find his daughter and searched the entire house for her. It was after checking her room, though, that the door slammed shut and he was taken very aback due to nobody being in there while he searched it. What made things even stranger is that the father decided to go to his ex house to see if she visited her, but she wasn't there. It was when he arrived home that his daughter was laying on her bed, like nothing happened in the first place. It was the morning of the solar eclipse, and the following family were really excited to see it. They were quite a young family compared to other ones, and the children especially weren't able to recall an eclipse happening in their lifetime. This called for some big hype towards the event, and they woke up very early out of excitement. I bet they regretted this though, because little did any of them know that the eldest child, Justin, was going to encounter a spirit that day. If you listen closely, you can hear a voice asking how Justin found it, but we don't know what it was yet, and neither did Justin. He ran upstairs to his mother's room, who decided to post the footage to social media and explain what happened publicly so that everyone could understand the story. And it was a very creepy story time, to say the least.
When he dropped his noodles, he ran upstairs, came busting in my room, jumping all over my bed, hiding in the corner, screaming and hollering, saying he didn't want to die. Somebody was in the house, telling me to get mine because somebody was in the house. And I'm like trying to tell him to calm down, be quiet, so I can hear what he's saying. Like, nobody's in the house. I kept telling him, nobody's in the house. Like, calm down. What is wrong? What happened? But like, he kept yelling. And I'm like, calm down. So then I call my dad and I'm like, Dad, man saying somebody in the house. He won't get out of my room so that I can get them out the closet so I can figure stuff out. And he would not move. We started hearing footsteps. I mean, big, heavy feet coming up the steps. So, like, now at this point, I'm terrified. I throw my robe on. I push him into the room with his brothers. I started coming down the steps with nothing in my hands. At this point, I'm just thinking I'm going to have to knock somebody backwards up the steps and just do what I got to do at this point because I got 5 kids in here. So, I come down the steps. I'm like, I'm going to get my hammer because my hammer is normally in my closet, but I know it's downstairs.
Fortunately, after going down the stairs to check what was coming up, the mother found nothing at all, and she was very confused. Was this the act of a spirit? Let me know what you think in the comments. Roland with me is a YouTuber well known for his haunting videos that gather views of over 3,000 on a consistent basis. He may be past his peak, but his content is just the same as before, and it sends chills down the spines of his audience consistently. The video you are about to watch was taken in his actual house, which was rather different compared to his usual paranormal location videos. He would typically venture out into the unknown to discover what he could, but for once, this video brought the suffering to his doorstep. This first clip was captured towards the beginning of his recording and would have scared any man enough to make them scream. However, Roland is one brave person, and he handled this quite maturely. Take a look.
Clock. Let me know. And why are you messing with my clock? Let me know that you are here. Show me some kind of sign. Do something. Did you just make the clock move? Alright, Alright, what the fuck was that? Alright, that clock just literally moved. Did you just make the clock move? Show me a sign. Do something. Holy fuck. Alright, that time, holy shit. All right.
For some strange reason, the clock started going crazy for a split second before returning back to its normal state as if nothing happened at all. This left Roland not in a state of fear, but a state of utter disbelief as he stood there staring at the clock, almost as if he expected it to move again. Despite this crazy sighting though, Roland eventually became unfazed and decided to search the rest of his house for crazy stuff, and eventually he came across this.
There's someone upstairs. All right. I swear it sounded like that f***ing chair just moved. Are you moving the chair? Okay. All right. Why are you moving the chair? Are you trying to tell me something? Is there a reason why you're moving the chair in here? And messing with the clock? Can you speak to me? Can you let me know if you're happy or sad? Can you let me know?
Somehow the chair moved by itself, and this time Ronald was much more curious. It was very rare for a spirit to comply with him so easily, which took him aback, and understandably so. Camera-shy spirits are surprisingly very common, despite the endless amount of clips we see online of them doing whatever they want in front of one. These spirits will do everything in their power to torment somebody, and have the audacity to stop whenever they pull out a camera. This is horrible because it leads the victim to having no proof, and they cannot tell anyone without being deemed a psychopath. This was almost the harsh reality for Jack. Jack was certain that his house was haunted, as his last few weeks had been riddled with paranormal activity. Despite this, whenever he pulled out a camera, nothing would happen. He made it his mission to capture this spirit in the act, and would not stop until it gave up on trying to stay hidden, and eventually he succeeded.
Bro, our fridge just opened. We're trying to waste electricity. Hopefully we'll get some, because every time something happens I can barely ever catch it. I swear I just seen something move over there. Don't mind yo, we gotta clean. I got a daughter, so she's a little reckless, and I gotta wash some cups. Bro, I just saw that out the corner of my eye. I wish I would have got that. Can you make it move again? No? Okay. Bro, stop playing with me. Hello? Hello? Can you do it again? Man. Bro, you just spilt water all over my floor, dude. Are you serious? Bro. Yo. You got water dripping all over my floor now. At least it's water. wasting electricity, letting fucking air in my house. Alright, yo, I gotta clean this up. I might as well just do these dishes too, since I already got water all over my damn floor. Alright, y'all.
As surprising as this was for Jack, the spirit spilt water all over the room on camera, and this must have been really annoying for him. Although his goal had been reached and he managed to obtain actual footage of the ghost, it made a damn awful mess, and it took him 10 minutes to tidy up. I'm sure it was an accident from the ghost, and it was just trying to do as he asked, but this definitely was not as pleasant of an experience as Jack intended it to be. Zach and his family were all fast asleep late at night when the most unexpected alarm clock sounded. The only difference was that this one did not at all sound like an alarm, rather a bang. Curious as to what caused the bang, Zach decided he would go and investigate the room which he believed it came from. Little did he know that this was going to be a huge mistake. Strangely, the chair slid across the room, and Zach was understandably put into fear by this. He sprinted back to his bedroom, but was careful not to wake up his son and wife. When he arrived at his bed, he decided to check the cameras for what the bang truly was, and this is what he discovered. If you were looking towards the right at the sofa, 2 toys fell from it without any human interaction. Upon checking this clip, Zach knew that his house must have been haunted and decided to start capturing as much evidence as possible. Make sure to subscribe because we will likely discuss the other evidence in future videos. On September 13th of 2018, Javier was sleeping home alone when one of the most disturbing nights of his life came to haunt him out of nowhere. We actually discussed Javier's backstory in another video on this channel, but in short, his brother, of whom he shared a haunted house with, passed away, and he was left to deal with the spirit alone. The doctors had no idea why he passed away, but they decided to pin it down to old age. Javier was convinced that the spirit did it to him. It was 3:12 a.m. on Javier's second week without his brother when the following clip was caught.
Gente, se cortó la luz. Estaba escuchando llorar un bebé. Oh, la puta madre.
For some bizarre reason, Javier could hear baby noises coming from the old playroom, and this made zero sense considering he had no children. As well as this, the spirit he was dealing with never actually made noise like this before, which was very trippy to say the least. Perhaps the ghost was starting to evolve. Who knows? What we do know is that Javier ended up selling the house on the housing market, but has not yet found a new place to stay. All we can do is wish him luck on this strugglesome search. In the following video, we step into the shoes of Henry, a British ghost hunter known for his bravery and ambition. He was renowned for being unable to feel fear in the spiritual industry and was one of the go-to people in his local area if you were suffering a ghostly problem. He had been doing the job for 3 years after all. Now, we actually looked into Harry in a very recent video on this channel, so you should do some scouring around for him. But essentially, he went on a ghost hunting mission to a mansion known as the Place of Nightmares. This mansion was so ridiculously riddled with the paranormal that it was able to create a full 20-minute video of clips for Harry, which I am slowly discussing across my videos, so subscribe to not miss them. Anyway, in the specific clip that you are about to see, Harry was wandering through the corridors of this building when he heard some suspicious noises coming from behind. Instinctively, he followed these noises trying to get some extra content, and indeed he did.
To be fair, the building's full of water. I'm not surprised I'm hearing shit. I'm hearing so much stuff, man. I'm gonna try and ignore it. Until I get a clear sign there is somebody here. Oh my god.
If you were paying very close attention as Harry reached the bottom of the stairs, a shadow figure could be seen in the doorway, and it is important to note that this was a solo mission without even a camera crew. Some leading theories were that this was a homeless man, or Harry was just lying, but I believe that the figure looked way too dark and mysterious to have been a human from the land of the living. That is for you to decide in the comments, though. The man you are about to watch the footage from was called Paul, and he formerly lived a very haunted life. His old house was absolutely horrible for paranormal activity, and the spirits would go as far as launching dangerous objects directly at him. It was not a nice experience at all. Fortunately, Paul was in a great position to move house though, and moved closer to the deserts in Nevada. However, it was not long until he discovered that he had not abandoned his spirit, just relocated it.
Hello? Hello?
This was the first time since moving house that Paul experienced something along these lines, and it really took him off guard. He never gave the idea of the spirit tracking him down any thought and dismissed it, even after his wife explained it to him several times. He paid the price, clearly. The unlucky thing is that he could not afford to move house again, so was stuck in that property for a good few years. It is unknown whether or not he managed to relocate without the poltergeist by his side, but you will be the first to know if that does happen. Hotels are supposed to be a place of peace and comfort where people can visit to have a healthy and safe night. Of course, these services cost money, but if you were the person in the next clip, then you would most certainly want a refund, because his experience was horrific. It was so poor that he published the video onto the Google reviews section of the hotel, so that everybody could be aware of what it had in store, and it is safe to say that this may have driven away a couple of customers.
A couple times already. And I don't know. Oh, crap. I know I got that. That's crazy. The phone, anything? Oh. Can you tell me your name? I can't hear you. Can you maybe speak a little louder? Oh my goodness. Okay, I know you're in here. I just want to know what your name is. And if there's anything I can do to help you. Is there anything at all? Can you tell me what it is that you're looking for?
Somehow, the telephone continued to fall off of its stand, despite being well balanced, and the towel and hanger even managed to join in on the fun. Now this was obviously shocking for Joe, the recorder, who only wanted to stay for a night but actually decided to check out of the hotel 4 hours early. He spent the next week or so beckoning for a refund from the hotel, but to his dismay, they did not permit one, considering that what happened was out of control. Should he have received his refund? I am keen to hear what you think about this in the comment section. The man you are about to watch the footage from was called Paul, and he formerly lived a very haunted life. His old house was absolutely horrible for paranormal activity, and the spirits would go as far as launching dangerous objects directly at him. It was not a nice experience at all. Fortunately, Paul was in a great position to move house though, and moved closer to the deserts in Nevada. However, it was not long until he discovered that he had not abandoned his spirit, just relocated it. This was the first time since moving house that Paul experienced something along these lines, and it really took him off guard. He never gave the idea of the spirit tracking him down any thought and dismissed it, even after his wife explained it to him several times. He paid the price, clearly. The unlucky thing is that he could not afford to move house again, so was stuck in that property for a good few years. It is unknown whether or not he managed to relocate without the poltergeist by his side, but you will be the first to know if that does happen. The following video took place in Sam's house, a small YouTuber who works part-time at his local fast food restaurant. The clip begins at 2 a.m. and Sam was in bed until he was woken up by a very strange sequence of knocking. Now at first, Sam genuinely thought that someone was at the door, but this theory was about to be blasted out of the window. Take a look.
There's been someone knocking at my front door for the last 10 minutes or so, and they haven't stopped knocking. Hello? Who's there?
Randomly, the door started knocking in a pattern of 3, and what made this event odd for Sam is that it didn't stop. Whoever was behind that door really wanted to be let inside, and after some preparation, Sam opened the door. However, after scanning the outside area, nothing could be seen. Immediately, he slammed both of the doors shut and locked them, but then something even weirder happened.
What's going on here? Somebody's playing games and it's not funny. Are you kidding me?
No matter how many times Sam opened the doors, he was unable to catch whoever was doing this knocking. Sam believed it to be a teenager playing tricks on him and decided to gear up and go outside, but even after 20 minutes of searching, no one could be found. Was this a horror coincidence, or was it really a spirit ruining Sam's sleep? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The house in the upcoming video had recently been purchased and moved into by Leah and her family. Prior to this house, they had been renting a house in a very dodgy area, and they decided to move out to provide a better life for their children. At least they thought it would provide a better life. The following footage was captured using an iOS camera setup in the top corner of the room, and what it filmed was truly shocking. Despite closing the drawer and being sure that no one else was in the kitchen, Leah found out something horrible that evening. Since the drawer managed to open itself for a second time, she discovered that the house was haunted and quickly sprinted out of the place. At first, her boyfriend thought she was insane and tried to calm her down, but Leah was lucky that she remembered the iOS camera. Straight after the incident, she showed the footage to her boyfriend, and he too thought it was very fishy. However, there was nothing either of them could do. They were too poor to buy another house so fast, and this forced them to call the haunted location home. On November 15th of 2023, 3 people were on shift in a school office. Their roles were to make sure that the school was running smoothly and any children who came to them had their problems solved. Little did any of the staff know, though, that on this day they would be helping a new student, if that's what you could call it. It was roughly 2 p.m. and lunch break had just finished, so the corridors were quiet again, but the office definitely wasn't.
I mean, that was clear though. Like, that was super clear.
It was good.
You think it's funny? Yeah. Stop it. And then the freaking phone rings.
As odd as this might have been, the ghost sighting here actually made a lot of sense. Just 2 months before this incident, a student at the school had tragically died, and they happened to be a little girl. This little girl always visited the office and told jokes to the staff, as she had trouble socializing with people. The workers believed that the spirit trying to communicate with them here was the girl, and this left them feeling happy and disturbed at the exact same time. With the information on who the ghost was, the staff felt confident that it wasn't here to cause any harm and simply wanted to stay where it enjoyed most of its time. And with this confidence, they started to test its abilities. Just 3 days after the initial sighting, student service operator James Hill decided to take the ghost into a storage unit and see if the ghost could move a few things for him.
Do it again. Jesus Christ. Come on. You can do it. Move it. Come on, move it. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Stop. Stop. Move it. Come on. Can you knock it down? You can knock it down. Come on. Y'all, it... Come on. Y'all, that box is fucking moving. I can't even fucking say this right. Come on. Stop. Nope. 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 We're done. We're done.
Strangely, despite all of the staff thinking James wouldn't capture anything, the ghost actually followed him to the storage room and did as he pleased. After being prompted to, it moved around a little box, and eventually, after some persuasion, it threw the box to the ground. James claimed this encounter increased his confidence that the spirit was of the little girl, because she was usually scared and nervous when doing troublesome things in school. This concludes why it took her so long to push the box onto the floor. For the past couple of months, house owner John Gregson had supposedly been hearing strange noises coming from his basement, and one day he decided it was time to investigate. When his family first moved into the house, John terraformed this room into a playroom for his daughter, and she loved it. But recently she wasn't down there as much, and he couldn't pinpoint whether she was getting too old or there was a much deeper cause.
Oh my... What are you doing there? Who are you?
I got you good.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, you got my heart good.
As John exited the playroom with confidence that his daughter had pranked him, the lights turned themselves off, and the globe on the stairs jumped across them. This was completely unexplainable since no one else was down there, at least no regular person. What made this incident even stranger was what the audience thought of it when John uploaded it to social media. Quite a few comments suggested that the girl could possibly have been possessed when she claimed she tricked John, which disturbed him very much. He immediately went to get the entire Gregson family baptized and called it a day. None of them recorded any paranormal footage after this event, so it's assumed that the ghost has officially become detached.